These are some of the past Bitcoin halving charts. This is what's going to happen next year. What's going on, guys? Welcome aboard Life Launchpad, your go-to channel for practical advice and guidance to launch your dreams into reality. I'm your host, Andrew Sabina, today, and if you didn't get it from that last snippet, today's video is talking about the next crypto bull run, especially focusing on the Bitcoin halving. What is the Bitcoin halving? I want to get straight into it. Bitcoin halving. Every 4 years, give or take a couple months, Bitcoin halves the amount of Bitcoin that you can mine. You know, if you don't know how you get Bitcoin, there are people that have computers, GPUs, that just mine Bitcoin through the internet and running processes, just runs through it. There's these big farms, I guess you could call them farms. They're like not silos, but these facilities, these long buildings that people make with a bunch of GPUs that just constantly 24/7 are mining cryptocurrency. I'm gonna try and throw in the picture if I could see one, but nonetheless, every 4 years, Bitcoin, the amount of Bitcoin that you can mine cuts in half. Going back to 2012, which is the most significant, in 2012, you were able to get 5 Bitcoin mined a minute total. That was like how much Bitcoin was being mined total a minute. And as you would assume in 2016, that was cut in half. It was 2.5 a minute. Then from 2016 to 2020, it was 1.25 Bitcoin per minute. And then obviously from 2020 to 2024, it's been 0.675, 625, I believe, Bitcoin per minute. As you can see, I mean, it's going down and down and down, especially when you multiply this by how much time has been going past and how much supply would have been if it had stayed at 5 a minute. But that's incredible. That's insane. And that's how it kind of retains its value. That's how it makes sure that it doesn't ever get overstocked. And once we get to a certain point where it's going to be minimal, it's going to be making like 0.05 Bitcoin a minute. The amount of Bitcoin that is existent is not really going to change. You may ask, well, what does that have to do? If you know basic economics and basic supply and demand, the less supply there is, the more demand drives, the more it drives demand up, the more it drives price up. So in 2012, when the Bitcoin halving, it turned Bitcoin from $12.22 to around $1,000. I mean, when you think about that, that is almost 1,000% return. That is incredible. I mean, there's not many things that you can compare that have had 1,000% returns. Then you go to 2016 when the halving happened, and this is like a year and a half after the halvings, so it's not like it instantly happened like this, but nonetheless, it still increases. 2016, Bitcoin went from $657 to $2,500, which is, you know, that's 4x, 400% return. 2020, the one that happened most recently, had one of the biggest, you know, numerical returns. It went from around $26,000 to $56,000 in the span of the year after the halving. And currently, Bitcoin is sitting at around 30,000. By the time it gets to April, you know, who knows what happens. It might stay around 30,000, but it might also grow up to like $40,000. Obviously, I'm not a financial advisor, so none of this is telling you what to buy or sell. I'm just telling you historically what has happened and also giving you my little input on what will happen. Not necessarily will, but what I assume will happen. Why is this important? Because, I mean, if you think about it, it doesn't automatically happen. And right now, if I can find this chart that I was looking at earlier, there was a chart that showed the breakthrough points of Bitcoin, not cryptocurrency, but Bitcoin. And it's like red. Red means that it's overbought. Then it was lighter red. There's like slightly overbought. Yellow, which just means it's balanced, but it's like growing a little bit. That's like healthy growth. Light green, oversold. Dark green, heavily oversold. And we've been currently in for the last 6 to 8 months, I believe. We've been at this yellow target area where it's just been, you know, fluctuating up and down a little bit and increasing steadily in price. Obviously, with last month, end of last month, Bitcoin did a little hop. It went from $25,000 to $30,000 pretty quickly. And that's pretty big, and that's still growth, and it's still maintained within that yellow, not overbought, not oversold. What else happens with this? As you know, there have been abundance of coins that have been created, a lot of them that are actually holding value. There's obviously Ethereum, Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, Yearn, Mana, which is Decentralands, and there's a bunch of them that have been created. And then obviously there have been meme coins that you've probably heard about. You have Dogecoin, Pepe Coin, you have Shiba Inu, all that have been like pumps, dumps, but still hold their value, and their market cap is still incredible because of how much supply there is. What will happen to these coins is that as Bitcoin, as we've seen in past history, as Bitcoin begins to grow and spike, these other coins slowly, but lagging along, will also rise with it. That's what's happened historically. The Bitcoin's obviously the leader. It's more known in the markets. It's more commonly known as a household cryptocurrency. If most people have heard it by now, most people have heard about it, know a little bit about what it is and how much it's worth. This all, my main speculation, not speculation, but reasoning why next year's Bitcoin halving is going to be immensely incredible and could be like the start of the next, it could be better than the .com boom. And that's a big thing saying, but I say this because if you've been keeping up with the news, every company has been working and grinding to grow and transform into this virtual world. VR, artificial intelligence, the metaverse, all these different things that companies are creating that are working and moving us towards this virtual world. What will we need in this virtual world? Some sort of virtual currency. What do we have that's halving next year? Bitcoin. What is Bitcoin? A virtual currency. You know how the pieces fall together. Everything's like following each other nicely, smoothly behind, and it's chugging along. And the pieces are starting to add up, and as mainstream market finds out more about this, it is going to change. It's going to be huge. I mean, it's going to 10x, 20x, 50x, 100x. Who knows? The possibilities for this are incredible. When you think about companies such as Meta, Apple, and Microsoft, those are three big ones I can name off the top of my head. They have been putting so much effort into putting work in towards the virtual reality, AI, stuff like that. Meta obviously working on the metaverse with its Oculus. It also has its Oculus glasses, which is virtual reality. Apple partnering with Unity to work on their augmented reality glasses. Microsoft working on different stuff like also artificial intelligence and working with next generation stuff, incredible stuff they're doing. Google also working on releasing its own artificial intelligence. Once Google releases its artificial intelligence, that one could be huge. I have a feeling that one's gonna be, it's supposed to be connected to the internet today, right now. It's gonna be updated every second, no matter what's happening, and that could be incredible. If you use ChatGPT, I believe it's 2018. It's up to 2018, and from 2018 to 2023, it's 5 years. It's a big gap. Having information up to date right now, game changer. That could be a game changer. Another thing that is really, really pushing investors and speculators and people that are just in the cryptocurrency world and all this, the virtual world, towards believing that this is going to be the next big thing is BlackRock. If you haven't heard, BlackRock has applied to get a Bitcoin ETF. And I saw the statistic, if BlackRock decided to put 0.3%, not even a 5.5%, not even a full percent, not even 0.5%, 0.3, just over 0.25% of all their assets under management, they could buy all the supply of Bitcoin right now. And that is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. all of cryptocurrency together, if you add all the cryptocurrency together, market cap is, I believe, little over $1 trillion. Don't quote me on that, but it's somewhere near $1 trillion. Fidelity also is working on planning to make a Bitcoin ETF. And what this would do, the reason I mention this, is if you think about it, these are two hugely very respected and very well-known brands, asset managers that people know. If they see that they are incorporating Bitcoin, a cryptocurrency, something that a lot of people thought was a scam and wouldn't make it past 5 years, look at it now, and they see that they're buying into it, the market is going to go through the roof because they're going to be trying to buy a bunch of it which is going to cause prices to drive up, and people are going to have fear of missing out, also buying it. So it's just going to generate so much desire to have it. And that's why right now, before it even their proposal gets accepted, is a great time to buy it. Obviously, it could get denied, it could get accepted. I don't know. Not a financial advisor. This is not advice on what you should do. This is just what speculations. Other companies around the world, there has been a lot of updates in different companies that are working on expanding their vision and reach into cryptocurrency. The Deutsche Bank in Germany, which manages around $1 trillion in 1.3, I believe, trillion dollars in assets, is also looking to find a digital, incorporate digital assets as something that they manage. The French asset manager, Casillos, is offering $5 trillion to manage cryptocurrency. They manage $5 trillion. They're offering to also manage cryptocurrency, specifically Bitcoin, as something under their assets. And there's a bunch of other companies that are also looking to dive into this world. Wisdom Tree, MasterCard filed some trademark so that they would be able to trademark stuff that is created virtually with cryptocurrency, and it's incredible news. Invesco also looking to incorporate cryptocurrency into their ETFs. There are so many different companies that are hitting this realization that, man, the world is going into this crypto virtual world, and we need to get on it. And once these big name brands that everybody's heard of know about it, have purchased it, not know about it, because they know about it, that's for sure. Don't get me wrong, they know about it. Once they've made their purchases and gotten everything, supply is going to go down. People are going to be like, oh, if they're buying it, why am I not buying it? They're going to fear missing out buying it, driving prices also up, supply further down. It's going to be a huge chain reaction, not a train reaction. It is going to be incredible. And this is something that I'm thinking about, I'm reading about. Obviously, do your own research, look into it. I'm not telling you lies. I'm going to throw up some pictures in here, and I'm just trying to enlighten you so that you know what to look out for. 2024, 2025 could be two mind-blowing years. This could be the next roaring 20s, and that is not an overstatement. It could be bigger than the roaring 20s. There could be so much money out in the world. People that are invested early and made unconventional decisions are going to get paid off. But with that being said, thank you for tuning in. Don't forget how to change your life lies within you. Don't stop learning. Don't stop growing. Don't stop launching towards your dreams. I'm your host, Andrew Savina, and I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.